watching the Highlight Zone with WANE 15 Sports Director Glenn Marini. Local sports coverage you can count on.
It's the Highlight Zone. Yeah, the Highlight Zone. It's the Highlight Zone. Yeah, the Highlight Zone. It's Friday night. We on the Highlight Zone.
We gotta be some dogs this game, and everybody be ready.
We're all like a big family.
I mean, it'll be definitely a milestone. I mean, I give everybody what they want to see.
I can't wait. Me and him, we talk about this all the time.
It feels good, but main thing we have to do is stay humble.
It's good to see after their long 4 years of hard work is paying off.
Great players on both sides. We're going to give this city a great show on Friday.
It's the Highlight Zone. Yeah, the Highlight Zone. It's the Highlight Zone. Yeah, the Highlight Zone.
For whom doth the victory bell toll? In a season that's as wide open as we've ever seen, SAC play kicking off in week 3. In fact, most teams starting conference play tonight all across Northeast Indiana, which means each game from here on out just that much more important. We got coverage of 23 local games to get to, none bigger than a showdown at Spooler Stadium. Our man Josh Ayen joins us now with your Highlight Zone game of the week. Josh.
All right, Glenn, I'm not exactly a finance expert, but for both Northside and Northrup football, you can definitely say their stock is on the rise. Both teams coming in unbeaten so far. Legends 2-0 for the first time since 2012. Northrup trying to go 3-0 for the first time in decades. So, Northside and Northrup is your Highlight Zone game of the week. Let's go to Spooler Stadium, where Ohio State recruiter Quaden Guilford is leading the Bruins. Northside featuring this talented junior, Malik Moore, one of the top prospects in the state of Indiana. Now, the Bruins get on the scoreboard first, but in the first quarter, the Legends come striking right back. That is Marcus Williams off the screen pass, and Williams ruled with a touchdown as Northside actually scoring 10 unanswered points to take a 10-7 lead at halftime. You bet Northside grad and Notre Dame standout Tate Johnson is loving it. He's not going to like this, though. Quay Guilford, a quiet first half, so you know what? Northrup said, let's just give the ball directly to him. Guilford putting Northrup in front 13-10 after that Wildcat play, but the Legends come answering back in the third. That is Jaden Rivers to Malik Moore on 4th down. Gutsy call, it pays off as Northside up 16-13 heading into the 4th. Now, the Bruins able to battle back, and it's D. Hogue, the former Lure standout, now shining at Northrup, and it is once again a Northrup lead 19-16. Northrup's defense gets a stop on the ensuing drive, and you know what? It's Quay leading it the rest of the way. Quay Guilford, second rushing touchdown of the night as Northrup earns a statement win over Northside 25-16.
Well, last year we was a first half team. This year we're both half team. We played first half and the second half when we came out fighting, and we knew we could do the same thing we did last game. Well, you said it yourself. When I see they trust me, I put the trust in my team, and I put the trust in myself, and I do what I'm supposed to do, and I compete, and I do my job.
I mean, all game, we got a great defense. We got a great secondary. Start with the D-line in the trenches. We just had to set the tone all game and came out with the win. Just our grit, just our grit for real. Like, just keep stand down until we come up. That's all.
It's a brothership. It's a brothership. You know, I mean, that's all they came together.
Northside's going to host Concordia next week, while Northrup is at Homestead. Glenn, it's all you.
All right, speaking of Homestead, the Spartans may be the most impressive win on last week's show. The Sparties beating Noblesville on the road this week, a date with Southside. First quarter, Carter Kennedy. In 24 years of doing this, I've never been hit by a player on the sidelines. That changed tonight, but look at me. I stood up. I took it. That's weight room, baby. Carter Kennedy with a first down. Unfortunately, Homestead fumbles it away, and then Southside takes it the other way. Kion Beasley from Robert Murphy. He is into the red zone, but Southside would turn it over on downs. Later, Logan Frieden. No Michael White, but Logan Frieden has been a revelation. He finds Brandon Pinkston with a 21-yard touchdown as Homestead goes on to win 30-10 over the Southside Archers. Well, who'd have thunk this? Both Snyder and Lures off to 0-2 starts. Both teams looking for a get-right game at Lures Field in week 3. This one was all about the defense. Second quarter at 6-zip Snyder. That's the Panthers' Wade Rains Jr. And when it rains, it pours defense. He gets the interception right there for the Panthers. But Lures D, oh man, that D-line. The Taylor brothers meeting up in the backfield. Ale and Jaron Taylor combining for the TFL at 6-zip Snyder at the half. Fourth quarter, everybody have fun tonight. Everybody mang tung tonight. It's pronounced mong, but you know, 27-yard field goal, and that would end the scoring. This one, 9-zip Snyder over the Knights. At WANE Stadium, Generals in year one under coach Darian White, WANE hosting Dwenger. We picked this one up in the third quarter, and you know what? WANE trying to do some work. Kamari Morris with a tackle for loss right there, but Dwenger already up 46-0 when our cameras got there. In the fourth, you'll see Jace White to Justin White. They're brothers, and that's a good combination, but unfortunately for WANE, they wouldn't find the end zone in this one. You're going to see Zach Lehrman come up with the TFL for that vaunted Dwenger defense as Dwenger pitches a shutout, 46-0 at WANE Stadium. Carroll ranked 14th in the state's 6A poll this week after playing a couple of Indy teams to start the season. Chargers opening SAC play at Concordia. Asher Wagner making it look easy with a touchdown to make it 7-0 in the first, and then why not do it again? It's Wagner, and another short touchdown run for Carroll makes it 14-0. And Tim Manigal doesn't like this. He wouldn't like this either. Gabe Freisinger to Jaden Van Pelt. Beautiful catch. You're going to see that later in the show. 28-0 Carroll. Then Freisinger to Harrison Shaley. This would make it 35-0 as Carroll, no problem with the Cadets, 52-7 at Zollner. In the NE8, good way to get conference play rolling. We're talking a rematch of last year's regional championship game. Huntington North at East Noble. This guy didn't play in it because he was in 8th grade last year. We're talking freshman Austin Phillips. Yeah, he's only a 9th grader. We're going to call his name quite a bit over the next 4 years. 52-yard touch, 7-0 East Noble. Then Alex Scott. He's been doing it as a receiver this year. Pretty good defensive back as well. He gets the pick there, and it's still a 7-0 East Noble lead. Later, Alexander Phillips would find the end zone here from Riley Biddle. 14-0 as East Noble goes on to win 39-0 over the Vikes. Let's go to the courtyard. Norwell hosting Leo. The Lions 2-0, ranked 6th in this week's 4A state poll. First quarter action. It's the Leo defense doing work. Nathan Foster had over 1,300 rushing yards last season. He can play some D2. He picks off the Knights right there, and Leo was up 6-0 already. Second quarter, Titus Stoller pitching it to who else but Nathan Foster. Foster, the senior, breaking one off. He goes for 245 yards and 4 TDs in this game. You're going to see Norwell, though, get on the board. Coming up here later in the second quarter, it's Caden Castle handing it to Adam Monensmith. That's a touchdown for the Knights, but it's their only touchdown of the ball game as Leo wins 35-7 at the courtyard. Your reigning ops team of the week, the Columbia City Eagles. Columbia City down in Decatur to face Belmont. First quarter action. Lucas Duncan takes the handoff, and Duncan is into the end zone for a touchdown from 21 yards out. It's already 7-0 CC just like that. Belmont would fumble here. Oh, and the big guy's jumping on it. Gavin Shepard, you gotta love it if you're Brett Fox and company. Ball to CC, they take advantage. Corbin McIntosh from 2 yards out. Columbia City leaves no doubt in this one, 61-6 at Worthman Stadium. Final stop in the NE8 tonight, John Young Stadium. New Haven facing DeKalb. The Barons coming off a real nice 28-7 win at Garrett last Friday. They played a great second half. They played a great first half in this one. First quarter, as a matter of fact. Eli McCormick to Xavier Bell, ring, 7-0. The Barons out in front. However, New Haven starts to buckle up on defense. You're going to see Davion Smith, number 7, coming right through with a sack there. It's still a 7-0 ball game, but not for long because DeKalb with another touchdown pass here. McCormick to Noah Spears, and DeKalb wins 40-20 over the Bulldogs. Well, the NE8 is in the books, the SAC is in the books, but what about the NECC? Last year's big division champ hosting last year's small division champ. We're going to head up to Garrett as the Railroaders try and derail the Churubusco Eagles. Plus, ECAC play getting underway, and that includes 2 high-powered offenses battling in Bluffton as the Tigers host South Adams. Warsaw opens conference play at Goshen. We'll also hit up a trio of 3 Rivers Conference games in Wabash County alone. 15 more local games coming your way after the break.
Energy. All right, energy, home opener. Snyder, let's go. Nothing else needs to be said. Let's start off on a high note to start our SAC season.
That was Kyle Lindsay of Bishop Lures, and it's just a tiny tidbit of what you're going to see Wednesday at 6 o'clock in the next Highlight Zone 2-minute drill segment. Meanwhile, ACAC play kicking off Friday night, and in Bluffton, that means the Tigers taking on a South Adams team that made it to semi-state last year. To Fred Park Field we go. Daddy Kunks and the Tigers off to a 2-0 start, and in the third quarter, it's that offense feeling good. Cooper Craig with the touchdown right there. And Bluffton in the lead, 24-21. Here comes more from the Bluftonians. It's Cooper Craig with a touchdown, and that makes it a 31-21 game. But here comes Titus Lehman. He throws it to Will Patterson. Patterson would find the end zone. This was a shootout. We thought it would be, and it delivered. Bluffton wins it, though, 44-41 over the Starfires. Adams Central with a non-conference game. The Jets down in Muncie to take on Muncie Central. First quarter action. It's the quarterback keeper, man. Nobody was even close to him. Jamison Roach with a short touchdown to make it 6-zip AC. Fast forward to the second quarter. It's Roach again. This time they kind of had a beat on him, but he beats him to the corner for the touchdown, and AC rolls 41-13 over the Bearcats. Heritage coming off an overtime win against Delta last Friday. The 2-0 Patriots hosting Woodland. We pick it up in the third quarter. Heritage leading 21-7, and Lucas Weber. They give it to him, and Weber, we've seen him a couple times on the Highlight Zone already this season. He is a handful. He's down there at the 12-yard line, and they would punch it in. There's a mouse on the field. Heritage's Easton Meyer with a 12-yard touchdown run to cap the drive, and Heritage up 28-7 as Heritage goes on to win your final 42-21. Familiar face in a new place, former Southside and Manchester coach Eddie Fields, now the head coach at Jay County. The Patriots at Southern Wells, and in the first quarter at Southern Wells, going to the air, Trace Slusher to Josh Albach, and he picks up a first down. He's rumbling and stumbling, and then later on the drive, you're going to see Slusher again to Adam Albach. And this is a touchdown. It's a 7-zip lead for Southern Wells, and Southern Wells, gotta love it for Blake Blaker. They get the win over Jay County, 21-14, Raiders victorious. Great NECC matchup here. Last year's small division champ Busco at last year's big division champ Garrett. Alex Guzman. Yeah, we saw a lot of him last year as a sophomore. He is one of their bell cows, and he takes it into the end zone to make it a 17-zip Garrett lead in the second quarter. In the third quarter, Aiden Reed, part of that defense for the Garrett Railroaders. He had a fumble recovery against AC in week 1. He gets another fumble recovery there, still 17-zip. You're going to see Brody Lawrence for Busco to Bryce Lawrence. And that's a nice move to get into the end zone, but that's Busco's lone score as Garrett wins 17-7 over the Eagles. West Noble averaging 35 points a game. The Chargers at Eastside, who hung with Adams Central last week. Second quarter, it's Joe Richmond to Jake Worstler. That's a 9-yard touchdown, and Eastside stakes themselves to a 7-zip lead. Second quarter, Trey Schischler to Trevor Steele, and he is about as wide open as you get. That's a 36-yard touchdown to knot the game at 7. Just 2 minutes before the half, Joe Richmond does it himself, a 16-yard touchdown. The kid can play as Eastside wins a good one over West Noble, 27-24. Steuben County bragging rights on the line at the Hive as Angola hosting nearby Fremont. Pick it up in the first quarter, it's Hawk Hasselman. Hawk soaring his way into the end zone with the short touchdown, and Angola up 7-zip. Second quarter action, how about some defense from Angola? Oh yeah, the Purple Craze doing it. Alex Thomas and Eric Nielsen combine on the sack. The defense would pitch a shutout for Angola, and the offense took care of business. It's Hasselman again as Angola tops Fremont 34-0. At Prairie Heights, the 57th annual Milk Can Game. We're talking rivals Lakeland versus Prairie Heights, and this one was all Lakeland. Braden Holbrook to his favorite receiver, Kean Arroyo. That's a touchdown in the third to make it 32-zip Lake Show. Later, it's Levi Cook from Mr. Holbrook, and looks very similar. He gets into the end zone to make it 40-6, and that would be your final as Lakeland takes care of the Panthers. Milk Jug. In the Three Rivers Conference, Wabash making a short drive north to face the Manchester Squires. First quarter action, no score. That changes here. Maddox Greer around the end and into the end zone. and Manchester up 7-0. Little more from Manchester. It's now 14-0 in the second quarter. You're going to see Dallas Martin. Watch him get into the end zone, the QB with the keeper, and Manchester takes care of business 47-20. At Northfield, the Norsemen looking for their first win of the season. The Norse hosting 2-0 Mechaniqua. Mechaniqua, man, they're a tough program. Third quarter action, Connor Eldridge taking the handoff, and Eldridge is gone. Down the sideline for a touchdown. That would make it 20-0 Braves. A little bit later, you're going to see Mechaniqua go to the air. Aiden Robinson to Jordan Van Ness. And it's 27-0 at that point as Mechaniqua rolls 42-6 the final. Just down the road at Wagner Field, Southwood looking for the first win of the Josh Marley era. Could the Knights get it against Northwestern? Well, first quarter action, Maddox Marshall to Cooper Drake for Southwood. That's a big gain as the Knights matriculate the football down the field. However, they wouldn't score on that drive, and Northwestern's Colin Cook hits Dwayne Perrigan, who makes some nice moves for a big gain, but they couldn't capitalize on this drive either. The first points of the night actually come in special teams. You're going to see Cooper Drake nail a field goal for Southwood, but Northwestern does win one against the Knights, 26-20. New coach Thomas Tyree and Whitco hosting Rochester. The Wildcats beating Prairie Heights in week 1 before falling to Peru in week 2. Third quarter action, Whitco's Landon Smith. He recovers the fumble. Now, it was blown dead before the return, but the positive for Whitco is they get the football. However, they were down 47-0, and Whitco trying to make something happen. Jabez Yarber for Rochester with the interception as the Zebras take care of Whitco 47-0. Warsaw opening Northern Lakes Conference play on the road at Goshen. The Tigers ranked 9th in this week's 5A state poll, and they waste no time finding the end zone. First quarter action is Brody Duncan slamming his way in, and Warsaw up 6-0. Second quarter, Quentin Brock. Man, how valuable was he last year for this team? 15-yard touchdown as Warsaw, no problem with the Redhawks, 37-7 Tigers win. Final stop, we got Fairfield, we got Jimtown. The Falcons looking to start the season 3-0. Corey Stoner, he would love that. He doesn't quite like this as much. The Jimmies with a rushing touchdown, they get on the board first, but watch Fairfield come back. This is a name to know. Brant Sark, he's only a sophomore. He gets the touchdown. This was a great ball game, but it's Jimtown winning 29-28. Stay tuned. Your Gem of the Night is coming up next.
We're the Manchester Squires.
We're smoking that Apache pack.
There's more on the highlight zone after the break. I love you, Mom.
We are the Norwell Knights. Welcome back to the highlight zone. And the Gem of the Night is up next.
Here at Peter Franklin Jewelers, we are proud to support local high school athletics. That's why we continue to sponsor the Highlight Zone on WANE TV.
Congratulations to this week's winner of the Gem of the Night, presented by Peter Franklin Jewelers.
As you saw all new this fall, the good folks at Peter Franklin Jewelers giving out t-shirts to your Gem of the Night winners each week. And you know what, Jaden Van Pelt, I bet he's a medium kind of guy. Jaden Van Pelt with an amazing touchdown catch from Gabe Freisinger against the Concordia Cadets as the Chargers put up a 50-piece and win this one. Jaden Van Pelt, he is your winner of this week's Gem of the Night. And that win sets up a really big game for the Chargers next week. Let's take a look at the games for week 4. We got Bishop Dwenger at Carroll. Could very well be your game of the week. Northrup is at Homestead. That's another big win. Columbia City takes on Huntington North. Heritage is at South Adams, while Eastside will travel to Churubusco. That will have a huge impact on the NECC Small Division Championship race this coming season. And you know what? I must make a retraction. I said we had a mouse on the show earlier. I was incorrect. It was a sugar glider, which is an Australian marsupial. So for whatever it's worth, we like to get things right here on the Highlight Zone. That was the sugar glider. Sorry, guys. I don't know my rodents or marsupials all that well. I do know football, and we'll be back next week for week 4 here on WANE TV. For Josh, I'm Glenn, and we'll see you in week 4.